Good evening, everyone. It's 9 p.m. It's Wednesday, 19th June, 2024, and it's time for another edition of Hope and Action Network's Friend of a Wounded Heart program. We come to you every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m., and we discuss issues related to your well-being, our well-being. We deal with some very soft topics and some very hard ones. And of course, some are not very hard, some are not very soft. But before we begin this evening, let me say with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together one more time. We pray that this evening's program be beneficial to everyone. We ask for your guidance, for your direction, for your inspiration as we proceed. And we pray that those who have intention to log on, that you bring them on quickly so that we can have a lively discussion. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So I welcome you. Welcome you who have joined this evening. It is a holiday in Trinidad and Tobago. It's Labor Day, and I know some people might be out celebrating, but I thank you for being here. I thank Nancy from St. Lucia, who logs on week after week. It heartens us to know that there's some people who believe in what we do, who are benefiting from what we do, and who make it their business to come and join us every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Last week, I was in St. Vincent and I attended a function on Thursday. And a lady came to me and she said, "It's so good to meet you in person." She said, "I do not log on at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, but I view the recordings on YouTube." And I felt so happy. She's not able to stay awake to view the program at 9 p.m., but she makes it her business to look for them on YouTube the following day. And so she was so happy to meet me. I was happy to meet her as well. And I thank her for being faithful to Hope and Action Network's Friend of a Wounded Heart program. We appreciate you. We love you. You're part of Hope and Action Network's family. And talking about family, here is cousin Akisha. Akisha, how are you
Hi,
doing?
hi. Good evening. I am good. I am good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yes, and I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's a holiday,
Yes.
but I hope people didn't go out and celebrate too much for this holiday. But even if that's the case, the show must go on. So I'm so grateful for the persons who are logged on, who are here, and for the persons who would eventually view it at a later date.
Yes, we thank you all. I was checking on something this evening. When I looked at Wednesday 19th as a holiday, I said, let me just check and see what's happening later in the year. Do you know Christmas Day is a Wednesday?
Oh boy.
Yes, but I want people to plan from now till just log on for a short while. On the 25th of December, let's celebrate and greet each other. Let us share. So Wednesday, 25th December, we will have a program. We never stopped. We have never stopped. And we don't intend to stop. We will be on faithfully Wednesday after Wednesday by God's grace.
Yeah.
So on the 25th of December, some months away, 6 months away, we are hoping that people could log on with a black cake and a ginger beer and a glass of sorrel and whatever else they might be enjoying. But just log on. Just remember that we want to see you on that evening. So, Keisha, why are we here?
Yes.
Why are we?
Yeah.
Why is it? Even on a public holiday, we are here trying to engage with people.
Every Wednesday, we are here for one and one reason only. But part of that reason is because of Hope and Action Network. Um, as an organization, we do believe in empowering our nation. We do believe that we can impact our nation in a significant way. And the one way that we would have decided through this program, Hope and Act, through this program, sorry, a friend of a
Friend of a
wounded
wounded
heart,
heart.
yes, is to empower our nation. So our vision statement reads, a better society built on strong foundations through the empowerment of everyone. And of course, we can achieve a better society. We just have to work towards it. All right. And this is what this program, every Wednesday, that is what we try to achieve, even when we have lighter topics, when we have topics that's really grilling to some persons, it's all to really direct us to build a strong society in our little corner in this grand scheme of things. Now, we would have had 82 sessions already. This is our 83rd session. So we have come a long way. For 83 Wednesdays, we were logged on here already. And tonight is the 84th session. So if you would have missed any one of our sessions before, you can feel free to go back to either YouTube or Facebook to view those sessions. But let me do a quick recap of what we did last week and for the last 5 weeks. So last week we spoke about Dance with My Father again. Now, it was in time for a Father's Day, so it was pertaining to the men, where we celebrated the men that are among us who really do contribute to Hope and Action Network in some way or the other. And we are so grateful for their presence and participation. So we just wanted to stop and take a moment to appreciate them. On June 5th, we spoke about poverty is not hell. And we would have gone, it would have been a very interactive session where we would have seen the spy persons growing up into poverty. They still did not describe it as hell. Yeah. On May 22nd, we spoke about Bonnie and Clyde dealing with crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the rest of the world, but realizing that crime doesn't stop with just one gender. On May 15th, we looked at home alone, ways in which we can protect ourselves, especially persons who live alone. And even if you don't live alone, the tips that were given can be used for you as well. And on May 8th, she's a lady. That was in time for Mother's Day. But this evening, we are going to talk about You Won. So I'll pass you back over to Dr. Ward, who will elaborate on that topic for us a little bit.
Yes, you won. This is our topic for this evening. You see, the internet has become an important place in our lives. All of us want to be on the internet, and we pay a monthly rental to be on the internet. However, we must remember that not everyone we encounter online has our best interest at heart. Internet scams are ever present. They are a threat to us. They are hackers and cyber criminals, and they are working overtime so that they can stay steps ahead of persons who use the internet. And so we must keep abreast of the risks and of the strategies that we need to utilize so that we will not be fooled. So this evening's topic is You Won, and we have a list of things that we are going to discuss that are connected to you winning something or being preferred to receive something. We're going to look at that. You won. And we start off with a very, very popular one. You won my heart. You won my heart. And we're going to be talking about online dating scams, or romantic scams, as they're called in some quarters. And romantic scams are on the rise. Now, I hasten to add that online dating has become very popular. And in some instances, people have been very successful. During COVID, when people could not go out and interact and could hardly see each other's faces because of the face masks, online dating became even more popular. It is popular now. So for online dating, you meet someone through a dating site or a dating app, and you start to get to know each other. It can feel authentic, and it can be authentic. However, You can never be sure of who is on the other side of your screen. So you may find yourself in an online relationship, and then the person begins to ask for money, or they may send things to you and tell you they want you to send it on to somebody else. So they may send you a package and they say, well, that package is not ready for you. I just wanted to send it to St. Lucia to someone else. And they'll give you an address and so on. It's time to open your eyes and your ears and everything. Something is wrong. Then there are people who would claim to have a particular name and a particular job and lots of money, and they have everything that you want, that you wish you could have. FaceTime them? No, they don't want to FaceTime. They don't want you to see them. They can talk to you, they can text you, but to have a conversation where you can see their faces, they don't do it. I know someone told me recently that there was someone that she was talking to online, and I began to ask her some questions. I said, have you ever seen him video called, whatever? She said, he video called once, but she could tell that he was hiding his face. And she began to pull back on the information that she was sharing with him. She told him she was a poor girl, and he said he didn't mind and he would visit her and so on. But some people hide behind the screen for quite a long time, and they try to encourage you to send things, to send money. Some come up with some stories. We heard one on the program some time ago, a few weeks ago. They come up with all kinds of stories, and we've gotten accustomed to hearing the term catfishers, and they are the ones who often use the identity of a real person. So they may pretend to be Akisha. They might use Akisha's identity when in fact it is someone else. And they try to encourage you. And I'm sure people who use Facebook and other platforms, I'm sure that you have been contacted by people. And when you say, let me check the profile, the person only has one friend. That is a red flag. That is saying something. And these people, they change from one name to the other. They didn't get through with you, they go to someone else and they pretend, they tell you all that you want to hear. And what we find is that very early, as soon as they begin to talk to you, they're telling you, they're demonstrating such strong emotions in a very short space of time. These people are people that we have to be careful about. And some of them, if they meet you on a genuine dating site, of course, genuine dating sites have rules, but they do not want to abide by the rules. And in fact, they are not real, they are fake. So they want you to leave the dating site and talk to them using some other means. These are things that we have to be cautious about. People send fake photos. They send fake contact information because they want to cover their tracks. Because this ain't no romance. It isn't any romance. What they really want is your money. They really want to get your money. And sometimes you begin to talk to them and they begin to soften up, and then they begin to tell you about hardships that they face. Somebody robbed them, somebody beat them up, or they're in hospital, or some relative is ill. And so we have to be cautious. So we have to avoid these romance scams. We have to carefully scrutinize any online relationship that develops too fast. And don't give money to someone unless you are in a genuine relationship with them offline. And even offline, be very cautious about giving people your money, your hard-earned cash. And if you meet them in person outside of cyberspace, let the people, your relatives, your friends, close people know I'm going to meet this person. In fact, let them meet your relatives and friends before you decide to go out with them. Now, we have heard in our own country stories of people getting into trouble, even dying, because they met someone online and they made arrangements to meet with them. Akisha, unmute. Unmute.
Very,
It,
that's a very serious thing when it comes to relationships. So sometimes people are so, you might be vulnerable and think that this person telling you all the things that you want to hear and
mhm.
all of these good things, and so you believe that this person is there for you. However, I'm not saying that every online relationship is gonna end this way, but some persons are, they have their agenda, and the agenda is not love, it's not relationship, it's something else. There's a comment in the chat and it says, yeah, they in love one time. True.
That's,
That's a red flag.
that sounds like Rebecca,
Yes,
somehow.
that was Rebecca. Yes,
Yes, I know my people, I know my
yes.
peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love one time. They don't know
Mhm.
anything about you, but if they love you, love you, love you so much.
Mhm.
But there are genuine dating sites.
Yes.
Some of these things work, but there are fake people on some genuine dating sites.
Yeah, and there are shows about this. It is so real. There are shows
Tinder,
about it.
Tinder
Yeah,
swindler.
yeah, and there was another one, I think it was called catfishing or something of that sort. And these persons are nothing what they say that they are. They may describe themselves as white, slim, and it's somebody totally different when they
Different.
actually go to the place. It may be somebody who is dirt poor and they're pretending to be rich. So you have to be so careful, because people with those type of agendas will go to any, and once you start lying once, you have to continue lying to make that story make sense. And so that person will do anything to get what they want to get from you.
Hmm.
So we need to do things to protect ourselves,
That's right.
especially if you think that you're in a vulnerable space where this is something that may happen. So you really need to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you're not just falling for an imaginary person who is
Hmm.
out there, you know?
Yes,
So I think that's really important.
that's right. And then we have you won the lottery, or you won a prize, or you won a smartphone.
I
And
get
I'm
I get
sure,
emails
ah,
every day
tell
telling
us
me I win
something.
something.
Tell us
Yeah.
something. Tell us. Give
Yeah.
us
I
some
just
more
delete them,
information.
actually. I don't open them,
Okay.
but ever so often I win some prize. I think it's from a African country.
Mm-hmm.
I always get this email, and it's telling me that I just need to send X amount of dollars so I can claim this prize. And I also get from an embassy
Mm.
telling me again that they have this scholarship program and I was qualified for the program. And ever so often you get those type of emails telling you win something. But
Mm-hmm.
these lottery scams, and we may joke about it, or I may laugh about it, but there are so many persons who are being caught up with these scams. Especially I've had about 2 or 3 older persons ask me to check their phones because of these scams. At a point in time, there was a beverage company. I had one of those scams. Well, somebody did it pretending to be a beverage company.
Oh,
And these
okay.
persons received this thing telling them that they win different amounts of money. And
Hmm.
at least 3 older persons asked me to read it and explain what they have to do, because they were willing to do what the thing said to do.
Yes,
And
yes,
it was a scam.
yes.
And I'm like, the thing had grammatical errors.
Mm-hmm.
it was written very weird, and I'm like, this is not real. And they're like, no, I went. I said, did you apply for anything? No.
No.
Did you find a cup? No. But those persons genuinely believe, and I remember them because they were older persons, and it was about
Yeah.
three persons. Give
Yeah.
me their phones to look at it because they genuinely thought that they won this, and it was just a matter of setting off this money and they're
To
gonna
receive.
receive.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is so sad that older persons and maybe younger ones too will fall victim and probably use up all the little pension, all the little money that they have to
Mm-hmm.
claim something that they didn't even apply for. So then how can you win if you didn't apply or you didn't register, you didn't do anything? And that in itself should be a red flag, but it isn't as blatant as some persons may think. So I believe that persons should be aware when it comes to these lottery and these prizes that's just out there.
Yes. And in the US in 2020, it was the fourth most common type of scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened is that people typically would receive an email claiming that they won this lottery, and it's a little known lottery, usually in another country, as you said. And
Yes.
there's always a substantial prize, a substantial payout. But to be able to claim the prize, you have to pay a fee. And they will say insurance costs and government tax and bank fees and courier charges. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
send that and personal details for verification. And suddenly, what has happened? You become the victim of identity theft and your money is gone.
Gone. Exactly.
Yeah. Another
Exactly.
version involves them gaining access to your social media account and
Mm-hmm.
contacting friends and relatives and telling them
Yes.
that they have all won money,
Mm-hmm.
and they provide an email address through which they receive instructions
Mm-hmm.
on how to claim this prize.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a terrible version of the scam because it uses the trust between your friends.
Yes.
So it contacts your friends and say,
Mm-hmm.
well, you all want money. How do you avoid it?
Mm-hmm.
Look at those lottery scams. They have telltale signs. The email usually comes from a person and not a company.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
are
some
not
of
the
them
only,
trying to replicate
yeah,
company. It
as
is so
well,
sad.
as
Some of
well.
them comes looking very genuine.
Genuine,
Up
yes.
until very recently, a coworker of mine got a voucher from one of those telecommunications companies, and she was asking me about it, and I was like, yeah, that could be a scam, because you're so skeptical about it. And
Yes,
when
yes,
I went to check it out, the next day she said, no, it wasn't a scam, it was real. Because when you
genuine.
receive certain things like vouchers and certain things via email, you sometimes think,
Mm-hmm.
is this because
Yeah,
because this has been happening for
quite a long
some
time.
time now. And
Mm-hmm.
as you said about emails, there at some point there were persons who were hacking into your email and sending
Of course.
messages that you're stranded and that
Yeah,
and persons
yeah,
and
we'll get to.
this is one that you can really fall victim because
Yes,
I'm thinking it's you're
yes.
stranded in another country and you don't have your
Mm-hmm.
credit card, you don't have this, you don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a scammer who is asking to send money to them.
Yes, yes. And
Really
usually you're not
dangerous.
the only recipient. You
It's not the
and
wiser.
the lottery, you've never
Yeah,
heard of it before.
yeah,
And you spoke about the grammar and spelling and so on.
yeah.
They're generally not from English speaking
No,
people or
you
English
you can
speaking
tell.
country. So if
Yeah.
if you receive an email like this, just quickly Google search to see if it's legitimate, and very most often, all the time, it will not be.
Mhm.
We all want to have money, but if you didn't buy a ticket, how could you win a lottery?
Exactly.
So don't send any personal information via email to anyone you don't know, and never trust anyone trying to give you money for nothing.
Mhm.
If I win 50 million US or 50 whatever US dollars, why must I send the money for the insurance? Just deduct it and send me the money. That's all.
Exactly.
And then I won't say, I'm not sending you a bank account or anything to send it to find me and get
Yeah.
it to me somehow. I wonder
Send
if
me a check.
anybody send me a check.
Send me a
Send me a check.
check.
Oh, wonder if anybody wants to come in here before we go further.
Let
Oh,
me
there
just
was.
read this comments from Rebecca and Devicia. It says, a number of years ago, there was a scam that came via email telling persons they are the relative of someone who died and left a lot of money. They
Oh, we
asked for
get into that.
information to be
Yeah.
sent in order for the money to be sent through. A lot of persons fell for that one. And Devicia, how about those stupid scammers?
Yeah.
So, Nancy,
Hmm.
I was just thinking, I got a message about a few days ago about a USP package that I have. And I looked at the message, I said, but to me, even though I order something online, I have a box. So why am I getting something for the USP package? If
UP,
I just deleted it.
USPS or UPS, one
Yeah,
of
no,
those.
but I know nothing comes to me via that and it's a message. I just deleted it. So now as you're talking about it, I just remember as recent, I got something like that. I'm saying, but why would somebody send me a package? I don't know anybody sending me a package. And the message just came on my phone. So I said, no, I just deleted it. So
I got
it's
one as well,
very
you know.
real.
Yeah, I got one as well. And of course, when I purchase something, I track every one of my packages until I receive them. So you don't have to send a message to me to tell me that there's anything coming for me. I would know. But they try all kinds of
yeah.
things. The aim is to steal your identity or to steal your money. And so we have to be careful. But we're moving on to the job offer scams. And those increased during COVID. What happens in this scam is that you get an unsolicited email offering you a job. Sometimes it's not even in your area of expertise. And when you accept it, you are paid by check or money order for an amount that is greater than your employer offered. And then they ask you to send back the difference. So they send you a check. This happens in the US. They send you a check for a large amount of money and they said, oh, it's great. You were supposed to receive $1,000, but we sent you two. Could you send back the $1,000? You see where this is going? So you send back the $1,000 and then you realize it's a fake check or a fake money order. So you have just lost $1,000.
Wow.
Yes, that's done. It's done. How do you avoid that if you decide to accept work? Never cash suspicious checks. Never try to cash them without checking to see if they're authentic. Never send back money to anybody who has sent you money like that. Be sure to ask your bank to hold your funds. Don't let anybody dig into your funds. Anytime you ask to send back the difference, this is a sign that you have been involved or you are involved in a scam. And then there's the beneficiary scam where you get an email from someone who is looking to move some money around quickly. And these emails sometimes come from people claiming to be royalty. But more often, they're from businessmen or people claiming to be businessmen who say that they have millions to move out of the country and they want help in it. And when you help them to move it, you're going to get a part of it. So they give you some details to make you feel that this offer is legitimate. And then the money is delayed, leaving you there wondering what's happening with you. So sometimes you may even transfer your money to somebody else, waiting on this big set of money that is going to come to you. But don't do it. The police is going to come for you if you transfer money like that, because it could be regarded as money laundering. And sometimes it might well be. So don't fall for this scam. Don't fall for that at all. If even you don't have money and you think, well, I'm gonna get a percentage if I help to move this money around, don't fall for it. Look at the grammar. We spoke of that earlier. Look at the spelling in the email. Look at the email address. And of course, if somebody wants to transfer money, let them transfer it through legitimate means. Don't use your account, don't use yourself to transfer money to anybody. Oh, and then there's online shopping. I saw on Facebook once somebody had a little toy living room set. They said they ordered a living room set and this is what they received. It was a toy like a little child 2 years or 3 years would play with. Of course they got a living room set, but the quality after spending so much money, and scammers they use technology to set up these fake retail websites. They look like genuine online stores. Sometimes they steal logos. Sometimes they copy designs. And many of these websites offer popular brands of clothing or jewelry or perfume and gadgets at very low prices. Sometimes you may receive the item you paid for, sometimes, but sometimes you don't. You don't. They have this social media store sometimes, and by the time you've paid your money, the store disappears. But they're resurfacing under a different name. So to avoid this kind of scam, if a product is advertised at an incredibly low price that seems too good to be true, then it's not true. Another sign is if the person is asking you for immediate payment. Send it electronically, transfer it. They're anxious, they want you to send it. They may even ask you to purchase vouchers upfront so that you can get the deal, because if you don't, then you're going to lose the deal. Has anybody ever seen these kinds of websites? You know, I shop on Amazon, and sometimes on Facebook, you will see Amazon offering this and offering that. Most of the time, they're not genuine. You go onto the real Amazon site and you see nothing of the sort. There's somebody trying to steal your money. Would anybody like to come in here as we continue to talk about these scams?
Let me just go back to the charts. Oh, I have the Vistas correcting me. Is not it's actually Cupid the scammers, the love scammers she was referring to. Rebecca says, if you send me money in error, thanks, huh? Rebecca. This scammer is brave enough to actually send a living. Yeah, they're brave enough. They actually send a living room set.
Yes. A toy set.
That is ridiculous. I actually saw one. I think it was a television where it was actually a board and a like a garbage bag, and they put all these stickers on it. You know, like a new TV, but it was totally not a TV. People are so creative. If they could just use their creativity for something positive.
Yes, they could become rich, but just be honest.
Yeah.
Just be honest. And so we have to be so very careful about
because the extent you have to go to do something like that. You can use that level of creativity and brain for something positive.
That's
right.
But that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we have travel scams as well. You know, people like to travel, go on vacation, go someplace else, go on a cruise. Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, we know about a certain lady who was arrested
and charged
because she ripped off so many.
Yeah.
With these cruises that never happened. Yeah. I remember there was a time when some people in Tobago paid for a cruise, turned up at the airport for their flights. No flight, they weren't on any flight. I don't think they ever got their money. So, and we see travel trips, we see trips being advertised, we see cruises, we see so many advertisements promising you these wonderful vacations. Let us not jump for each and every one of them. And you know, there is something that I look at. Sometimes when they advertise these trips, they don't put the cost. When you ask the cost, it's an inbox for the cost. So you have to send a private message to them so that they can tell you the cost. Well, I think very often they want you to speak with them privately so that they can assess your situation and know if you're somebody they could really rip off. If you're advertising a cruise and you tell me where I'm going, you tell me where the dates, you tell me what airline, what ship, whatever it is. Why can't you give me a cost?
Exactly.
Why is the cost not being made public? There are people who are still waiting on refunds because they fell victims to travel scam.
And trips aren't cheap.
Trips are
Some
not cheap.
persons, that's their savings, that's years of saving to get them to that point to actually take a vacation.
And taking a vacation is something wonderful, something
Mhm.
we all want to do. But the scammers know we want to do it.
Yeah.
And if they make it attractive enough, then we are going to fall for it. We'll send our down payments, and they want an early down payment because spaces are limited. Cabins will sell out fast and so on. Yeah. What I normally do is to go, if I see a trip advertised, let's say you have something on Royal Caribbean, a cruise. I see that advertised. I go on Royal Caribbean's website and I check to see what is happening there. I check genuine websites. And if you could conduct your business yourself without going through an agent, it's best. It's best for you. Yeah.
I don't even think some persons know they have that option, that you can do certain things in that regard for themselves. And so that's why they rely on, an agent or somebody else to assist through the process. So that could be a reason why, or they probably think it just, it'd be easier. It's too cumbersome. Travel is cumbersome. It's too many things, too many moving parts. So yeah, now we know you can go direct, you can do your own thing, you can
Yes.
double check. Even if you're going through that person, you could double check to make sure, because it's a lot, it involves a lot of money. These
Yes.
trips aren't cheap. It's not $5. It's money.
Yes, it is. Let's talk a little bit about repair scams.
Yeah.
Yes, especially for some of the senior persons who have computers and phones and tablets that might give trouble at times. Sometimes they might find people online who offer to repair. Now, when somebody offers to repair your device, you have to be sure that's a genuine person. If they get a hold of your device, there's so many things that they can do. This repair scam started in the real world and it has moved online. So you might receive a phone call from somebody claiming to work for Microsoft. And of course, your computer is giving a little trouble. So you say, all right, somebody called and they're working for Microsoft and they said they could fix my PC. And you hand up your device so you let them have access. And let me tell you, they may tell you, all right, I can fix it from where I am. So you have these things like AnyDesk, where somebody can be in their house in whatever part of the world. You install AnyDesk and you send them the code, and they can log on to your computer and do things, fix it, get all the information, get everything they want, your IP address, yes, get everything. Go through your emails, do whatever, and find your information, and you have been scammed. So what they do is they download on your thing a remote access to your computer. So they can access your computer at any time. Technology is good, but we have to be careful. We have to understand that there are people out there who don't like us. So on your computer, they will be installing things, hacking into everything that you do. Getting all your information, installing malware, getting all your information. So it is better if you have your computer, your device, whatever it is, repaired by someone you know. Repaired by someone you know. Because once they install their malware on your device, they can access all your files, all your data, all your information. So never accept help unsolicited. You didn't ask for help. Somebody just shows up or calls you or messages you and say they can help, they can repair. Don't allow them to have remote access to your computer. Don't do it. Remote, meaning that they can stay where they are. They ask you to install something. There's one called AnyDesk. That's the one I can think of. And you get a code and you tell them what the code is and they use it and they're on your computer. They are on your computer. So please be careful about having people interfere with your devices. They may sound genuine, but very often they are not genuine. TeamViewer is another one, Nancy. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. So they can use that and see everything. Manage, control your computer. They can do that. So we have to be careful. We have to be very cautious. There's social media scams. And of course, social media is, Nancy has a hand up. Go ahead.
Hi, Joe. Just before you continue, I put in the chat that there's the movie The Beekeeper. That is exactly what the movie is about.
Okay.
An elderly lady who's like she's in the countryside and she manages like she was a teacher, so she has like different groups to manage their cash. And the computer gave her an error. The guy would call her in the nick of time, wants to work on it remotely, and that's the company to scam to take all their money. When the lady saw the guy was finished and she had $0 and 0 cents from millions, the lady
Wow.
shot herself. And that's where the movie took it from there. The guy who was on her property tried to, let the people pay for it because they kept on doing that to so many people. And there were companies recruiting people to do that, just take people money. And the elderly persons that are not familiar with the computer, you tell them there's an error, they allow you to give you their password because it's frozen and they take your money. No. The Beekeeper is a must watch for that.
I would want to look at that.
Yeah, it's an eye opener. That's exactly what the movie is about. And the guy went all out, and persons at the top, way, way, way top of the society, was responsible for that, and it was really an eye opener for me. So yes, it is very real.
Yes. So I repeat, they try to stay one step ahead of us. The internet is good. Being online is good. We get information. We use the internet. But there are people who use it for all kinds of nefarious designs. And so we have to be extremely careful. So social media...
Good evening. I want to say a point. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Happy Labor Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks. What happened that is happening now is with your Visa card. You know, some places when you go, they're only accepting the links or cash. They don't want to use your Visa. What is going on now? I've heard somebody limit is 10,000. Is a near relative of mine. And this person call and tell them they give them the wrong address and whatever. But they were quick. You know what happened? Is 156,000 they want to scam from the person. And the bank was able to block and give them a new card and so. And another thing that's happening too, when they want your money passing through the bank, They said from 5,000, you could take it down, you could take it out from the links machine. But another thing is people are robbing people, because what happens if you taking out less than 300, you don't have to put in your PIN and all of that. You could just
you tap, yes.
PIN, and it could have people hiding. So you go and they just come and they continue and draw out your money. So,
yes, so we have to be cautious.
Have to be very careful. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that, Lynn. Thanks for that.
You are welcome.
Yes. Well, we spend much time on social media platforms. And but Pearl Harris is asking, what about when they tell you to accept cookies? It must be a genuine site. Genuine site. If not, don't accept any cookies. There are many times when I try to read some news or so and they say, accept cookies, it's okay. I can do without that news. I can do without reading that story. So we have to be cautious. So social media scams are becoming increasingly more popular. Very, very popular. And, when I see something's happening, I smile, and sometimes I would alert people to what exactly is happening. So you find that people offer quizzes. You're on Facebook and you see quizzes. And those quizzes are asking you so many things about yourself, and you consider them to be a joke. Have you ever had surgery? Do you have a tattoo? What's the color of your eyes? And all of that. They are trying to get your information. Some quizzes are asking you to give information so they can tell you about your personality type. Or they may ask you what celebrity you look like. And they may offer you some prize. They usually include some terms and conditions which allow the data you enter to be sold to third parties. There is one, My Puzzle. How many of us have done the My Puzzle? Where your features are manipulated. And so you see yourself looking like a princess and looking like a soldier, looking like a police officer, bus driver, an athlete, all forms. Why do you think they're manipulating your features like that? Somebody tell me. Tell me. Anybody want to try? Or does anybody think they know or understand why that's been done?
No, I don't.
All right. Now, identity theft is real. And you can easily see somebody with a passport and a picture looking like you somewhere. Because they know where you live. They know what you look like. They've manipulated your features. You have answered the quizzes. They may tell you, add the first letter of whatever and the last letter of whatever to your date of birth. What do you think they're searching for? Your date of birth. Or they may disguise it. It may even be disguised further, but they're seeking your information. And so they can steal your identity, use your face, your features, because they have manipulated it in so many different ways that they can easily print a picture of you. In the quizzes, the developers can also obtain a lot of information about you from your profile, from your friends list, and your IP address. And they can use it to build up a picture as part of your identity theft. Sometimes, too, we're on social media and we get a random friend request. Instagram, from some fraudster, from Facebook, from a fraudster who is posing as someone you may know. And then they send you a link and tell you, look, I'm sending you a link for so check this out. And it's a phishing link that is seeking information. Phishing. Phishing scam that will take you to a malicious site and that will take all your information. So let's be careful about clicking on links. Somebody mentioned it earlier. Be careful about downloading apps on social media. There's some, we don't need all the apps that have been offered to us. So to avoid the social media scam, let's avoid the quizzes. Let us avoid the quizzes. They ask you to, to take this quiz and forward it. When you finish it, you forward it to somebody else and that person does theirs and so on. That's not necessary. So let us try to avoid the quizzes and don't click on the pop-up messages or pop-up posts that contain content that you might be sorry you opened. Don't click on links or open attachments on messages that come to you that you don't know about. So yes, the UPS information about this package came to me. Then I got one recently telling me to tell them about the shopping experience and thanking me for my purchase. I know who I purchased from, so I am not going to click on that. I'm not going to open it. I am going to just leave it or delete it or something, but I'm not going to be caught by that because I know everything I purchase, I'm fully conscious.
Yeah, there are also those that ask you to scan your body so
Yo,
that
I
your
never saw
body.
that one.
Yeah. Yes, for weight loss programs and when you
Oh,
scan your body, they will tell you what you need to do. I don't know, something about that don't seem right for me. But I guess people do it. I can't say specifically if it is a scam, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. But we really never know, because it is a fact. Even a lot of things that we float online, if we really read the fine print, your data is being collected
used and
and
sold.
it is being sold. You're just probably not aware of it because you didn't read the fine print. They to some extent have to declare it. It's just that some of us we just click on because we're so interested in what we're trying to find, but your data is being sold to all sorts of companies. That's why sometimes you look at your phone and you find all of these ads for things that you didn't even type in for.
Yeah.
However, it knows exactly what you would like to see at a
Based
particular
on your
point in time
search.
because it knows who you are. So I mean, if genuine sites do it, we can imagine what sites that aren't genuine using your data for. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there are robocalls. Robocall scams. So sometimes your phone rings. You answer your phone and you hear a recording rather than a live person speaking. Very often it's a robocall. Sometimes companies use it. So Digicel would use it. They've done it. So they call you and there's a recording. And you would know if it's Digicel. But sometimes you get these calls from unsolicited persons. And many of them are scams. And they can come from various places. Somebody might be telling you that they're calling from Inland Revenue, asking you to pay up some taxes that you owe. They may ask you for information. They want some number. What is your Inland Revenue number, BIR number? Or they may pretend to be from some technology company calling you. You have an iPhone and they say this is a call from Apple and they're asking you for information. And a real company would not want that information on the phone. Or you may get an offer to try out a product. And to try out this product, we want to hold your credit card information just in case you like it and you would like to purchase. That's a condition for giving you the trial. We have to keep your credit card number. We have to be cautious. If you answer a phone and it is suspect, hang up. Hang up. Sometimes you may be hanging up on a genuine person, but that's okay.
Mhm.
That's okay. Hang up. Avoid following the instructions. It's press 1 to talk to a representative. You know, and avoid talking to them generally. Avoid saying the word yes if you can. Many of the calls start with the line, hello, can you hear me? And when you say yes, the scammer then stores the recording and uses it for fraudulent purposes. So be careful about any interaction with a suspect call. And we have suspect calls in Trinidad and Tobago as well. I don't know if it happens now, but I know there was a point in time where people would just call random numbers, and sometimes there would be people attempting or asking you to engage in all kinds of activities on the phone with them. We've had those kinds of calls. But there's some who, they're not on that side. They want money, they want information, they want your credit card number. And we spoke earlier about support scams where they tell you they want to help you. And when you give them information or give them access to your computer, they install malware. So that's a support scam where they want to help you. They give you fake antivirus software, or they give you offer bogus software services, all with the intention of getting into your device and stealing your information.
You know,
Yes.
before you move on to the support scam, that telephone scam, remember, local insurance company called. I was trying to get something done online, and I wasn't getting through. And a few moments later, someone's calling from, well, to me, it was a cell phone call number. But the person claimed to be calling from the insurance company.
Mhm.
And the person was asking what type of insurance and, invasive questions. And I hung up. Now, it could have been a genuine call, but to me, it was questions that you don't answer over phone unless maybe I called you. Yeah. So immediately I hung up. So as you said, sometimes the calls may be genuine, but just to protect yourself and make sure that you're not giving out information that you shouldn't be giving out over the phone. It costs not much. It will cost you less to call back than the
Yes.
potential of somebody scamming you and taking away something that they should not have access to. So in
Yeah.
that case, I just hung up and I called back the company. Of course, I didn't get through, but I just left it because I went in after. So you just have to be careful in everything as it comes to scamming. These persons are finding genuine, they're finding very interesting new ways to scam. They're going home and they're doing their homework to make sure that they come close as possible to what a genuine call may sound like. And
Yes.
they're really trying. And as soon as they get you, that's it. Your potential, who knows? They probably might clear out something that is really important to you. So telephone is not to put, there are certain business that you just should
Don't
not handle.
transact on the phone. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And once you think that is crossing that line more than a name, then I believe that you should just disengage the call back the company, try to speak. Because when you call and not call back the number that calls you, call back the company,
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
make sure that you're speaking with somebody that you're supposed to be speaking to at that
That's
time.
That's right. That's right. So, we've gone through quite a few, Akisha.
Yeah.
You won my heart, the romance scam. You won the lottery, that's a lottery scam or fake price notification. You won a job opportunity. You won an inheritance. You won a good deal, that's the one with the sales or online stores, counterfeit goods, and so on. You won a cheap vacation, that's the travel scam. You won a good repairman, that's the repair scam. And then we had the social media scam where you asked to send information, the robocall where you answer and they try to get information from you. or you want our support. And so they want to support you and fix your computer. Well, when in reality, they want to install all these malware and scareware and so on your computer. But here are two that I'll present now, where you ask directly for money. And I had a very interesting one. This one I call you needed. It's a grandparent scam or family emergency scam. And you spoke about it earlier about relatives somewhere messaging you from somewhere saying they're in another country and somebody robbed them and they don't have enough money to come home and you have to send money to them. Well, I've received those things over and over and over again. I remember I had a guy waiting and waiting and waiting. Yes, I'm going to send him money. I'm organizing to send it for you now. And he was just there waiting and waiting and waiting. I said, yes, I'm trying. I'm trying to send it. And he was just there waiting and waiting. And of course, after a while, I said, yes, I'll send the police now to get you. And he disappeared. But there was another interesting one. Somebody messaged me one day and said, this is, they call the person's, they mentioned the person's name and they really in need of some help and they want to know if I can help them, if I can send this money to them and so on. And I said, I went along with them for a while and let them, to find out more. And after a while, I said, it's so very interesting that she is dead and is sending me these messages. Indeed, it was a cousin of mine who was deceased. So I was needed to send money. And I am sure many of you have received those. Anybody? I see Eustace on, but we're not hearing from Eustace. I think I saw him. But is anybody familiar with with the grandparent or family emergency or even a friend? Even friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I received, this was a few years ago, I received an email telling me that this person is stranded. And immediately I was like, oh my gosh, this person is stranded. I started to send messages to other persons, and because it was very early, before it was so known that it was a scam. Yeah. And I was genuinely concerned, like this person is really how this, but somebody would have informed the person what happened, and then the person would have almost immediately after would have sent out a message. It wasn't me. I am fine. I am home. Yeah, I got hacked, and it's so now when you receive it, it doesn't bother because you kind of know it's not a real situation that this person is in.
All right. We have some things in the chat. I think I just saw one from Rebecca, and I've not been keeping up with the chat this evening, I must admit.
All right, let's see what's there. Oh, we have a few stuff. Let's see.
I saw Bishop Charles on earlier, and Bishop Charles lives in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I was at his house last Wednesday. I visited Bishop Charles. It was such a pleasure. Yes.
Nice. I believe we stop at, is it based on a true story? I'm not sure if that was in regards to the movie. Could be.
Or she was asking if it is based on a true story.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
They didn't say, but I think it was related to real life situations for them to go such in depth. So it could very well be.
Okay.
Can you see the extent to which people go?
Yes.
And of course, those things are coming from evil minds. And we cannot use our own character to judge what people will do. There are people who are not thinking as we are thinking. There are people who are not as honest as we are. There are people who are out to get your money. In Trinidad and Tobago, was it last year in Barataria? The police officers set up, they set up this thing because they were people, but they still do it, advertising cars and television sets and whatever. And when people turn up with their money, they rob them. The police officers turned up. So when the guys pulled their weapons, the police officers responded, and I think about 4 of them were killed. Now, if let's say it was somebody, let's say it wasn't a police officer or a group of police officers, somebody was going to die and the money would have been taken away. So we are warned, beware of these offers on social media. Be careful. That we be going back to the sales and the online store, Facebook Marketplace, always something that looks attractive there. We have to be careful. If you know somebody who is selling something, you know the person, it's okay. But you see this Facebook thing, they know you're going to turn up. People, you live in Sandy Grande with money to go to Belmont to buy a TV. It means that you're going to go past Standards and Courts and Price Mart and all these places, genuine places, to go to Belmont to purchase television.
It's the deal, you know.
Be careful.
It's the deal.
Be careful about
people,
deals.
Yeah.
Who loves you so much?
Yes.
Be careful. Be careful.
About the question.
Yeah. Be careful about it.
What about when they tell you to accept cookies? I think you responded to that one.
Yes, I
Since
did.
COVID,
Yes.
those questions increased significantly on Facebook. That is those questions asking you about things about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, I saw it. I didn't bother. Block and delete. So you block and delete persons who just you know, come up with in one person, one friend
Yeah.
situation. You do not have to you do not have to be the first one to have the app. I think possibly around that conversation about cookies and downloading sites. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that response coming around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, one used to call my mother's phone at late at night and talk all sorts of sexual things. One night,
Don't tell
when
me
the
it's
phone
Rebecca's
rang, I
mother.
answered. It's Rebecca. One night when the phone rang, I answered and just started saying, I just want you to know Jesus loves you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what your problem is. Maybe you can't see, but just pray and Jesus will help you, okay? You never gonna get it.
Yeah.
I mean, people are really idle sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a level of idleness. We have excellence retorts, LOL.
Mm.
That's a good one. You scam the scammer, and I believe that was in response to your situation when you had them waiting. Either
Oh,
that
yes.
or the other one with your cousin. I think the both of them, you scam them.
Mm-hmm.
I got a message about the stranded friend. I called around and quickly found out it was not true. Yeah, I think most persons would have received those. And we also have Facebook Marketplace. It could be dangerous.
Yeah.
It could really be dangerous. And I haven't heard much stories as of recently, but I do remember about last year or so, we had a lot of reports about persons being scammed
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook Marketplace, just going out there trying to purchase something for, as we said, a deal,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the deal isn't that great because you end up, well, it's not great at all because you end up losing what you came with and not
Mm-hmm.
even getting what you were supposed to get.
That's right.
So it's just be careful. Just
And
be
the
careful.
reality is that you could lose your life. So
Exactly.
just be careful.
Just be careful. Yeah.
Just be careful. The grandparent scam or the family emergency scam or the friend emergency scam, just pick up your phone and call somebody now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to
And
somebody.
continue. Yeah.
Yes, talk to somebody. And then the last one I want to talk about is the charity scam. Listen, this one has existed for some time. The charity scam, where they're asking you to contribute to a charity. This one has a GoFundMe for this. This one wants money for that. We have to research these and ensure that they are genuine charities. You can't just pick up your money and just send it off to people like that. You know, if there's a volcano erupting in St. Vincent, you know that is true. You send your whatever to St. Vincent. But somebody just sends to say that they have this charity and they want, and it's not only on social media, eh? We're talking about online scammers here and so on, but you know, in face to face, there are these people who try to scam you. Just take Twin City Mall. Somebody's always there with a child. There was one of the malls in Port of Spain where a young man used to hang around the mall with a child. And I remember one day, you know, I said, but let me call. He wanted to go by his brother, but didn't have the money to go by the brother. I said, well, let me call your brother for you. Nah, he wouldn't answer the phone. Come on.
They
Come
even
on.
come in futures.
Yes. Then I remember there was one who I met one day and he gave me a long story about him and his child and so on. And I questioned him and realized something was off. And then another day in Port of Spain, he was walking up to me and then he turned away because he recognized me. They're using these children and they're not supposed to do that. And Rebecca is saying, yes, sometimes they borrow children to carry them with them. So face to face it happens, but it happens online as well. So sometimes too, I mentioned volcano and but sometimes after large scale disasters or high profile public tragedies, you want to help, but sometimes the scammers get in there and try to get money out of that unfortunate situation. They are genuine charities, but they are fake charities as well. They set up fake donation sites and accounts, and they ask you to deposit money into that account to help the victims. We have to be careful about that. And some of them are very successful with these scams. Or they may tell you they know this person needs a heart transplant and this person needs whatever. Be careful. These charity scams, be very careful. So to avoid them, don't donate to any site that you know is not a genuine site. You know, check it, research it, see which is genuine and which is not.
Yeah, she got. I don't know, so she's not doing it.
It's that,
A genuine charity will have a real website. A genuine charity will have a real website. Will have a robust website. You know, you'll have information, more information. Check it out. Call numbers. Check somebody. They must be registered somewhere. Find out if they're real. Be careful, man. You work for your money. Try to protect it. There are people working hard to take it away from you.
I just want to put in something here. You're passing by a store and you see they will put up sale, everything must go, and they put in the time for it to go. But once I go in there, I say, nah, you know, your mind give it to spend nothing. You know, a month I happen to pass back there again, and they still have the sale sign telling you everything have to go, is closing down sale. You know, so you have to watch these sales thing, you know. Because if you're not accustomed going to that store, they could up the price and sale is a sale. Sometimes the things look good and everything, but it's wiser for you not to do it.
Yes, yes.
right? Some people just put up repossessed goods as well too. So you go somebody, if I know I ain't pay what I owe, whether from a washing machine or whatever, and they come and they take it from me and fix it up. It could be some defect or something because people don't like to see they pay half and they take it from them. So I wouldn't buy nothing electrical from those stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca, some people have closing. Thank you, Lynn. Some people have closing on sale for years, you know, Rebecca.
Oh.
Yeah, so we just did a short skip through some of the scams, some of the online scams and internet scams. There's so many more. There's so many ways. And every
Sorry.
day people will try. They will try something new. So we have to be on the lookout.
Another thing, again,
Yeah.
I just want to put in to say,
Mhm.
you home, you see maybe one or two persons and they're real loaded and they're telling you they have, if you buy such and such thing for them as today, you will get something off of it. So one day I'm in the yard and you know, sometimes your blood takes somebody. I say, I ain't no money, you know. Well, at least just watch it. So I bring them in, they outside the gate. And when they try anything, them selling it and they don't know how to set up the thing. So I tell them, I say, nah, man, I ain't so good with setting up things, you know, so I let that pass. So, you know, you wonder if it's steal, they steal it. Because if you go in and sell things, you must know how to set it up that I can see, well, it working, right?
Yes.
So that
Some
is
of them work for
tonight.
some larger companies. Sometimes you
Okay.
see many young people going about with similar items, but they might
Yeah,
not know. But some of them could be fake as well, and you do not sure where they get them from. You have to be
that's
careful as
right.
well about taking out your money to go to buy things
That's
from people
it.
who are walking around, because you're just going to be sending a message that I keep money in the house.
Oh, I didn't check on that one.
Yes, they recognize that you keep money in the house, and it's not always good to let people know that
Yeah.
well, I don't keep any.
Well, I
Keisha.
don't keep, you know, we have to be careful, and, you know, do not put on your guard.
Yes, you have to be careful.
You know, by God's grace, we have to try. In everything, pray to Him to guide us. Yeah.
Okay. So let's be careful. I just want Akisha to take the final comments in the chat and then take us to the close, please. You have to unmute first.
Yeah, I realize. Yeah, we got the right. Yes, there is one who likes to kind of like little items like all right, okay. Little calendars on behalf of a church or religious body. Then we have no, she is stuck. I'm trying to fit the comments into the conversation. No, she is stuck. I don't remember. And they
Well,
love
that's
to
probably
push.
when I went off a little. Yes.
Oh. And they love to push things in your hand, then ask for donations. I dislike that. Because yeah, how long are you closing down? We dealt with that one. I was trying to not mention that expo. I was just trying not to mention it, but as soon as the topic came up, I remember them because they were closing down for years. But I think they're closed by now. And there is a question in the chat. Anyone no. Currently, I'm being asked to help us family member whose medication is costing 1,000 per day, and
What?
they need 41,000 to start the treatment. How do you suggest I handle? Is it a genuine case or?
Pearl, you need to ask some questions. $1,000 per day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Now, people always come up with stories that Pearl, so you have to ask some questions. Don't get caught. What's $1,000 a day?
Mm.
Yeah, find out. Ask other people about it.
Yeah, probably find out what is the medication and search, the average cost of the medication. Just make sure, because that's a
A lot.
That's a lot, yeah. To just make sure that there is no other means by which that medication could be bought. I mean, it could be genuine, but still do your part in ensuring.
Yes, we have to be.
You know what I will say? If it costing so much, go into a health center or the hospital, accident and emergency, and beg them, start to cry and think, let them put you on the ward and you will get attended too.
I'm not sure if the hospital is going to fund medication or the government
So
that
much.
costs $1,000 per day.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. Yeah.
But if you are warded in the hospital, it could be possibly they're sorry for you and they assist you. But it's hard for you to take out all that money. So wherever sickness you have, we like to help, but that person didn't have no savings in a credit union, a
Well,
bank.
maybe not.
Well, the thing
Maybe
is,
not.
that's my family member,
A family
I
member.
follow.
A stranger come up and approach me, gave me this letter, that claiming some family member has brain tumors and that the medication for the pain is,
Ooh.
to take a box of this every 3 hours, and a box costs $125, so that she needs to spend as much as $1,000. I don't know, reading it through, it wasn't sounding
Really?
authentic to me. And as you mentioned, Sister Lynn, that didn't talk about attempting to go to the hospital or what, and I just don't know.
With brain tumors?
That is what the letter said, they're suffering from brain tumors, and as a result of the medical condition, they need to receive urgent medical treatment.
That person will be in a hospital, and
I
if that
think
person has brain
so.
tumors,
You should try that.
I will go and beg them, put me on the ward. But
you don't have to beg. In a situation like that, you will be warded.
But I know a relative of mine, a brother, and he went to the hospital, Port of Spain General, and they didn't have the medicine with his foot. He had sick with his foot.
Okay,
and
Nancy.
they write the prescription and said, go and buy it outside in a pharmacy and bring it to the hospital, and they will give him it because they do have, So they will do that. Or if not, what this person should do, one of them people, whether it's Channel 6 or wherever, go and put your case and they will talk it out,
Yeah.
You're watching the news and then you will get help, but you can't just take out so much money and give this person.
It has to be a genuine case, and you have to be sure that it's genuine, but that one does not sound genuine, Akisha.
No.
Yeah, Akisha, go ahead, please.
Okay.
We also have anyone can get caught up in the current of an online romance. It often seems cute and exciting, however, deadly. If someone is vulnerable and lacks the strength to get out of the charm, it's maybe best to imagine the worst case scenario, play foolish, ask uncomfortable questions while wiggling out of the situation. That was some good
Okay.
advice.
All right.
It sounds fishy.
Mhm.
Nancy is saying good night to all. They may have to happen to him. And the Vizier is saying good night, everyone.
Yes,
All
all right.
right.
Need to go now. Okay. Yes.
So
We
be
need to
careful,
go and
people. Yeah, be
yes.
careful. Go ahead, Akisha. Let's
Yeah.
close up. Yeah.
I would just like to tell, was it Nancy? It's really good to help, and I would not say not to help, but it's important to just make sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Not everybody that sits with their hands out really need help.
That's
So
true.
we just need to just make sure of that. But some points to note, there are wicked elements out there. Everyone does not have good intentions. And as we would have seen from the different points that was listed out this evening, everyone don't have good intentions. And persons who out there looking to scam persons, they don't have good intentions. We must exercise the wisdom of Solomon. Think before you act, think before you speak. If you're being asked questions, especially over a phone or being asked questions over by email or something, and you don't feel comfortable, do not respond. This is your phone, this is your device, and you're not obligated to respond. We cannot control the minds of others.
Sure.
As much as we can't do that, we can control ourselves, and we can control how we treat with situations.
Mhm.
Remember, we are on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. via the very same login credentials that you used this evening. If you would have missed any one of our recordings, feel free to view them on Facebook or YouTube. Next week, we will talk about Poverty is Not Hell, Part 2. And for those of you who would have viewed that session, you know that it was an interesting, very interesting session. So we anticipate that this one is going to be very interesting as well. Poverty is Not Hell, Part 2. I say good night to everybody, and I thank you for participating in this evening's discussion on the topic you won. And as we come to a close, I will just like to pray and ask that we all have a blessed night. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, I want to thank you for this evening. I want to thank you for the fact that you allow our platform to work for us tonight, that you would allow this topic to really touch someone, to really open the eyes of someone who need such information. There was a long list of things that were highlighted for persons to really bear in mind. The understanding that there are persons out here who really, really want to do things to harm us. And so, God, I ask that you help us to really have that Solomon, that wisdom, like Solomon, as the points would have indicated, so that we would know and be able to tell the difference between genuine information and things that persons just want to scam us their loan. Father, I ask that you help us to have a good night rest tonight. And if it is your desire that we wake up and have a productive and good day tomorrow. This is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a
Amen.
blessed evening, everyone.